You've probably heard of the warm hatch, the hot hatch you have when you don't need the insurance premium. But what about the warm sedan? It's something Aussies are really familiar with. Remember Falcon XR6 and Commodore SV6? They were once the biggest selling cars in the country. Which brings us to this, the new breed of warm sedans from Mazda, Hyundai and Honda.
The fact that it's a naturally aspirated engine and it feels good in that way, like it drives like a big bore 4.
Byron, I'm confused. I thought yesterday you were having a massive love affair with the Honda.
I think that they're all pretty close together in very different ways, so and that's what we have to convey.
Yep. Attention shoppers, can you hear me? Does anyone feel like a coffee?
Guys, here's one thing that kind of bugs me a little about the Civic. RS badge says to me, hot, rally sport. Absolutely.
So you're saying that it's Civic BS rather than Civic RS?
Absolutely.
It does deliver in other ways. It's the most sophisticated car of the lot in terms of the way it feels on the road and the interior design and layout, and the fact that it's so modern and airy.
It has a roomy, sunken opulence to it. Its seating and its view and the way you feel in it, that just sets it apart from the Elantra and particularly the Mazda 3, yeah?
Mazda 3? What do you reckon, guys? I think it's the prettiest and most cohesive design.
Easily the prettiest. Yeah. I think there's still something to be said for the Atmo engine in the Mazda. I just like saying big bore 4.
It's got a great transmission as well, like just a 6-speed torque converter auto, just does what it's meant to do, it doesn't let you down.
I just think it doesn't have the cohesion that you want in that car, even with the developments of it, and they are an improvement. It's lacking the cohesion that's even in the Elantra SR Turbo, the bright orange car that we have here. Australian suspension tune, multi-link rear end.
To me it looks like an Elantra in a tracksuit from the 70s in a way.
It has been shopping at Body Kits R Us. I think the way that it drives though is really cohesive. That's the most convincing aspect of it.
Smoothest drivetrain and the most instant delivery out of the trio.
And easily the best performance. I expected to be pretty underwhelmed by it, I've got to say. However, I reckon I've come to bond with it to a certain degree. It's the quickest car here out of the group. I think that the local suspension tune that they've managed to arrive at gives a really nice balance between compliance and body control. It's one of those cars that you can enjoy having a bit of a go with.
Besides the criticism of the RS badge on this Civic, there's a lot to like about this new generation Honda. It has terrific seating, loads of room, a lovely low driving position with this great view. That said, what this thing is missing is drivetrain sweetness. The engine is strong, lots of performance, really good economy for what it is, but it just doesn't have that peachy, high revving loveliness, and the CVT transmission doesn't suit the engine, and because you can't get it in a manual, there isn't a stopgap. And for a warm sedan, unfortunately, is probably this car's biggest fault. In this case, Hyundai Elantra, we have a specific warm variant, the SR Turbo. And unlike the Honda, which is just another trim level in the car, this car has some elements specific to the car. 1.6 turbo direct injection, 7-speed dual clutch instead of a CVT, multi-link rear suspension, and it transforms the Elantra from bread and butter boring to something that is actually really good. The thing is, it isn't a holistic approach to a car. So we have a car that looks fairly mundane. It could be a 5-year-old car, yet it's brand new. Yet the engineering in this vehicle is so sound that it makes up for a lot of those things. So if you can get over the boredom of the interior and kind of the lack of excitement of the outside, this car's a really good thing. We're in the oldest car here, the Mazda 3. It's almost 3 years old. This is the latest update of the car with G-Vec trim control. It does feel like an older and smaller car than the other two, but also it's the only naturally aspirated car here, and there's something great about ringing out this Skyactiv G engine and Mazda's terrific 6-speed automatic transmission. Where this Mazda falls down a bit is that it's a lot more confined inside to the benefit of its styling. It's easily the best looking car here, and so that becomes the conundrum. It's a sportier, smaller, more intimate car, ultimately not as polished as the other two, but you can totally understand why someone would buy it because it looks so much better than the new gen Civic or the Elantra with a body kit chucked on. Trying to be all things to all people means you're in danger of pleasing nobody, but that isn't the case here. These three cars do a lot of things really, really well, from overtly sporty to really attractive and sweet revving to spacious and sophisticated. But there can only be one winner, and despite its CVT, it's the Civic.